reciprocate. How much can I be expected to tolerate? So I started to think about the plans I made the day unpaid, and you just can't call a spade a spade. I watched the moon, let it run my mood. Can't stop thinking of you. I watched you. So nice to know you. I'll be moving on. We started off in such a nice place. We were talking the same language. I open and I'm closing. You can't stand the thought of a real beating heart. You'd be holding, having trouble owning, and admit that I am hoping.
I was on mute. What's going on, everyone? You know, before we actually start the stream and look at some YouTube videos, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do something a little different. You know, someone asked me to rank the fast food restaurants. Now, I'm going to do it before we start watching some YouTube videos and playing some games. Stay hydrated, people. But, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you one thing. This is not an opinion, okay? This is a fact, okay? My opinions are facts. Let's get started. First one we got is Arby's. Where do y'all think Arby's goes over here in the tier list? That's right. Arby's is an A. If A stands for absolute dog shit, Arby's is an F. How is this place still even in business? You know, Arby's is one of the places where I remember as a kid, right? My parents will always get mail. It'll be little coupons. Every month, we will get a whole catalog of Arby's coupons for the roast beef sandwiches, the curly fries. Matter of fact, the curly fries was the only good thing on the damn list. And let's talk about their slogan as well. Their slogan is horrible. Arby's, we got the meats. Who wants to hear that? But anyways, we are not judging them by their slogans. We're judging them by their food. Arby's, their roast beef sandwich is probably one of the driest sandwiches I've ever tried in my life. Almost as bad as the Popeyes biscuits. Okay, so for reasons for that, that's why they get an F. Let's move on. Next, we got Burger King. Burger King, where do you go? Burger King's a solid A. Solid A, guys. Now let me tell you why. Their burgers are phenomenal, right? On top of that, their fries are extra, extra crispy. Loved it. I love the combination. And on top of that, right, whenever you want desserts, their machines are never broken. Okay? The Whopper by itself, right? Very few times I can eat a burger by itself, right? I'm talking about just Whopper, no cheese, no mayonnaise or anything like that, right? This is the one sandwich, the one burger that I can eat just plain and dry and be satisfied because it's still juicy. So for reasons for that, that is why Burger King is a solid A. Carl's Jr. Now I think Carl's Jr. and Hardee's is the same. I have never tried them, so I cannot give them a solid ranking. So for that, we'll give them a C because I can't rank them, guys, because I've never been to the place, right? Let's move on. Next, we have Chick-fil-A. Damn, I love their sandwiches. Their chicken sandwich is to legit die for. One of the best chicken sandwiches I have ever tried in my life. On top of that, their waffle fries is God tier. Has the right amount of salt, the right amount of crispiness, right? And when we get the food, it is crispy and warm still, right? Usually, which we'll talk about, McDonald's will be down here, where we get fries, right? And the fries are either too burnt or they're too cold. But Chick-fil-A knows what they're doing. And restaurants need to adopt their strategy. And this is why how is it during every lunch rush hour, Chick-fil-A has damn near 100 cars in the parking lot, and I am always able to get my food within 3 minutes? Right? It is incredible. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. I'm talking so good about Chick-fil-A. So you guys would think that they are an S, correct? And likely so, they would be on my list as an S. But I unfortunately have to put them at a high A, above Burger King. And let me tell you why. The only reason, guys, why they are at a high A is because they're closed on Sundays. You know how many times I've driven by Chick-fil-A on Sundays and I'm about to pull up in the driveway, then I realize that they're closed because it's Sunday? That is the only reason why. And for that Chick-fil-A, you get an A. Could have gotten an S, but you get an A. Chipotle. Oh, Chipotle. I got a lot of words to say. Where do you fall on this list? By far, guys, Chipotle is S tier. They are S tier. The reason why they are S tier is because they are incredible. Food is phenomenal, right? Now, to piggyback on that, their portion size is made for toddlers. It is embarrassing. Why is it that when they give us our source of what is it? Beans, rice, and protein, it's like the workers are working on their own dime. The portions are dog shit. Chipotle knows it. We know it. The workers know it. They need to do something about that. And that is why I do not go to Chipotle, because if I go to Chipotle, I am spending $20 for a damn bowl because I have to get extra steak, and it pisses me off every time. Every time. But I love the food so much that Despite that, I still have to give this damn restaurant an S. And it pains me to give them an S because they know what they're doing. Now, granted, they have gotten people sick. Let's not. We will still talk about that. They have gotten people sick, right? They got damn, I don't know what is it, E. coli or whatever in their lettuce, salmonella, right? People legit got sick off of food poisoning is a thing. When it comes to Chipotle, one cannot exist without the other. And still, with all that being said, Chipotle is still getting an S. That is. Let's move on. Dairy Queen. Where does Dairy Queen fall on this list? What's that slogan called? Their slogan, DQ. That's what we like about Texas. Dairy Queen, you get a D. This is why you get a D. Everything on your menu is horrible. Horrible. Except for your blizzards. Your blizzards is the only reason why you are getting a D instead of F, like Arby's. That is the only thing that's saving you. I went to Dairy, and so let me back up, guys. So I typically go to a lot of bad fast food restaurants is because my mom, for somewhat strange reason, she loves giving me gift cards to horrible restaurants, either on my birthday or on Christmas, and I'm not gonna make it go to waste. I will still eat it, right? So she gave me a gift card to Dairy Queen. $15. Went over there, got me a blizzard with what was it? It was either the number 1 or the number 2. It was one of the two. It was just a regular burger. Literally, when I bit into it, it was like I was biting into plastic. It was disgusting. It just felt old. It felt like it's been out for weeks when I took my first bite. Disgusting. But the blizzards are delicious, and that is why Dairy Queen gets a D still. Domino's. By far, Domino's is easily an S. Easily. Here's why. The amount of pizza you can get with the amount of toppings, the 3 toppings, for less than $12 is insane. And people don't really realize how insane that is. You get a large pizza hand toss, 3 toppings, your choice, for I think it's $10.99. And on top of that, if you have coupons, you could bring that all the way down to about $8. $8 for a full pizza that literally I can eat in 2 sittings. You know, for lunch and then the rest for dinner. On top of that, their garlic bread, and then the garlic crust is amazing. I do not know why there's some Domino's I go to where they do the garlic bread for the crust, and some of them don't. I don't understand why. That needs to be a global thing for Domino's. Is every Domino's needs to do the garlic toast, because it is legit to die for. By far, Domino's is easily the best pizza spot. Matter of fact, I'm going to put Domino's over Chipotle because Domino's got me through college. It got me through college. Me and my roommate, his name is K. White. We would go to Domino's damn near every other day. Domino's and Little Caesars. Because mainly Little Caesars a lot because it was only $5. But Domino's is when we wanted to splurge. And that's why Domino's is S tier. Five Guys. Oh, Five Guys. Where does Five Guys go, guys? Now, before we give this a rank, we're going to talk about this. Five Guys is a delicious burger. Their fries, the Cajun fries, are incredible. You know, it will cost you a car note to buy all of it, but despite that, it's expensive. They have to go to A. They have to go to A because of how priced they are. I kid you not, guys. I kid you not. I stopped going to Five Guys for how pricey it was. I don't know what's going on in California. They need to stop bringing that inflation, that horrible inflation, to Texas. It is disgusting. Five Guys, I went there probably about 2 months ago. I will never go back there again. I literally went over there, got me burger, some fries, the small fries, mind you, and then on top of that, I got a shake. That shit came out to $30. $30 for a burger, fries, medium or small fries, and a shake. Do you know what I could have done with that? I could have gone to a damn Brazilian steakhouse where it's all you can eat, insanely good meat for the same price. Fogo de Chao. That's one of them. EG Steak. That's another. Literally could have gone to any one of those and paid $30. Could have got even a waiter pour me up glasses of crystal clear, clean, really good sparkling water too, for that same exact price that they're charging us over at Five Guys. And that is why Five Guys is getting an A. Really should have been an S, but they get an A. It's funny how these two are right next to each other. You know, before we go on talk about In-N-Out and Whataburger, we're going to talk about their cult following. I feel like it's either you love In-N-Out or you love Whataburger. There's no in between. That's how strong the cult following is. I understand the cult following. That is one thing, because I'm part of the cult following for Whataburger. Because, fun fact, guys, Whataburger was founded in my hometown. And with that being said, they get an automatic S. Now, they don't just get an S because they started from my hometown. They get an S because their overall menu is incredible. The tacos for breakfast, that is insane. Their butter biscuit is insane. Right? They just got bangers all around. It got to the point they had this bread, this sandwich where it was the Texas toast, right? The Texas toast, and then they had the chicken strips, and then they had cheese. I don't know what it was called. I think it was called the barbecue strip sandwich. I don't know. And then it was sprinkled with barbecue. That was so amazing. It was only on a limited time, right? And then when they stopped making it, people were outraged. And you want to know what happened? We, the people, made it into a regular menu item. So it's just things like that is why Whataburger is easily S tier, because they just don't miss when it comes to their food. In-N-Out. I don't see why people talk so highly of In-N-Out. I've been there probably a handful of times, maybe 5 times, and honestly, it is overrated. It is overrated because the fries that they give us is cold. The burgers are made from it's a Happy Meal burger. And it pisses me off that we had to spend $15 for that. And on top of that, the only way those fries will ever taste good, right, guys, is if you get it animal style. They even have a secret menu. That's stupid to me. That is why They don't get it. They're not E. They're a D. They're a solid D because their fries are just horrible. Their burgers are mediocre on good days. On bad days, it's just absolute dog shit. The only thing they got going good for them is the animal style. That's it. And you know what? Let's talk about Whataburger again. Also, why Whataburger is S tier is because when you are going to Whataburger, right, you go there after the club, right? You go there after a club, and Whataburger can get so hood. People don't understand this, right? You can watch a free show at Whataburger. Whataburger is so bad that at a certain point in the night, they literally have to have police officers scouting the place. Just there, waiting for a fight to break out so they can stop it. Right? So if you want a good meal and you want entertainment, you go to Whataburger. Whataburger at 2:30. Let's move on. Next is Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box was one of the other restaurants that got me through college. We had it, me and K White and my other roommate, Elijah. We would go to Jack in the Box every other day. And also we would go to Jack in the Box after we went out to the club. Let me tell you why Jack in the Box is really, really incredible. They have 99-cent tacos. Could you imagine being drunk and you only have $5 to work with? That's 5 tacos right there. It is incredible what those tacos can do. Now, granted, you eat those, you're going to be on the toilet the next day, right? Because those tacos are going to be coming back upstream. But other than that, when you first take a bite into that greasy taco, it is incredible. And it's actually worth it if you ask me. So that is why, with that being said, Jack in the Box gets a solid B. They get a B because their burgers are okay. It's not the best burgers I ever tried. Their tacos are very cheaply made, which is why they're 99 cents. The only reason why they get a high grade is because me and my roommates would go there all the time because there was times when we were really, really struggling. And we only had a couple of dollars to our name before our account was on red. Which is why Jack in the Box saved the day for us. Next is Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's gets an automatic D. Here's why. It's by far, in my opinion, probably the worst sub place out there. You know, you have Firehouse, guys. You have Subway. You know, then the next one is Jimmy John's. You know, it's not that good to me. Their subs are very subpar. It's not really that good in my opinion. So that is why Jimmy John's is a D. Moving on. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. We have the Colonel right here. Where do they stand? KFC. So KFC, in my opinion, guys, I know y'all probably gonna rank it higher. KFC's a C. And here's why KFC's a C. KFC back in the day, some of y'all didn't even know this. KFC was a buffet, right? It was a buffet where you get your chicken, or you can just order. There's two ways you can do it. If you did the buffet, you could get the chicken there, right? And then on top of that, you had all your other sides. You had your macaroni, you had your potatoes, and it was literally all you can eat, right? But for some whatever strange reason, during the late 2000s, like 2012 or something like that, they stopped doing it. They stopped doing it in multiple places. Now, guys, I don't know if they still do in other KFCs, but all the other KFCs that I've been to in Texas, they don't have the buffet anymore. Right? And so that's why I think people really like KFC, because you would just pay $10 for the buffet, and it's all you can eat chicken with all you can have sides with, like the macaroni, green beans, the mashed potatoes, and all that. So you could literally eat until your heart's desire, right? Until the itis starts kicking in, then you just fall asleep, right? Over on at your table. But other than that, their chicken is subpar. It's not that good. The fried chicken isn't that good in my opinion. Back then, I haven't been here in a while, guys. Back then, their fried chicken, the skin was, I don't know, it was almost like baked chicken, damn near. Right? That's how soft the crust was on the fried chicken. I just wasn't feeling it. So for that reason, that is why they are at a C. Moving on. Mickey D's, McDonald's. Now, guys, where do you think McDonald's goes in this list? That's good. An S. You're right. If S stood for shitty as fuck, McDonald's is an F. Now Arby's doesn't have to be lonely anymore. Here is why McDonald's is an F. Why the hell, first of all, let's talk about this. Why in the hell is your McFlurry machine always broken? I can't even remember the last time I even got a McFlurry over there, because every time I stopped asking when I used to go there, because I just knew I couldn't get a McFlurry. And it pissed me off that fucking Kim Kardashian can go to McDonald's and get a McFlurry and have it working, but us common people can't. It was very sickening. And on top of that, their burgers are complete dog shit. It is one of the worst burgers I've ever tasted in my entire life. I said Dairy Queen's burgers taste like plastic. This is legit plastic, right? Did y'all not see the documentary with well, not the supersized one. There was another video of this guy. This man stored his McDonald's, right? His McDonald's, he had like a Big Mac, and then on top of that, he stored it all in like a box, like a box that was shaped like a burger, right? Like a big burger, like that big. So he put the burger, the Big Mac in there, and then I don't even think it was big. It might have been a quarter pounder. He put a burger in there, right? And on top of that, he put like the bag in there as well. And then I think he had maybe a toy. Yeah, guys, it's fucking insane. Wait, hear who I'm about to say next, right? And so it was like a fucking time capsule for a fast food restaurant. That's legit what it was, a time capsule, right? So he left it, right, just sitting in his house for 15. I think it was like 20 years. It was like 25 years. It was something crazy like that. Left it in there, right? And then 20 to 25 years later, he finally gets it and he opens it up. And you want to know something? That burger looked the exact same as he did back then when he first bought it, is what he said. And it did look like it. He showed us it. The meat was still intact. The bread was still intact. No mold, no nothing. The only thing that disintegrated in there was the pickles. And we're eating this shit. So that is why McDonald's gets an F. Let's move on. Panda Express. I have nothing bad to say about Panda Express. Their food's good. I always get the same thing over there. I get the plate with fried rice, orange chicken, and grilled chicken teriyaki. The teriyaki chicken. And I feel like if you get anything else over there, guys, you're a psychopath. You only go to Panda Express for the orange chicken and teriyaki chicken. Nothing else. Right. Now, Panda Express, they get a B. They get a solid B. The only thing, if I had to critique Panda Express, is the amount of times they ask us to donate. Now, guys, I'm not saying donating's bad. I love donations. But every time I go there, right, I sometimes only have enough for my meal, right? I don't want to go out there. I can't tip because I didn't bring enough money. I just brought enough for my food, right? There was times where I knew Panda Express was going to ask for donations, where I was craving Panda Express and I had to go to a different restaurant because I knew they were going to tip. They were going to ask us for the donations. Now, I don't understand why they have to ask us that every time. You know, every so often, that's okay, right? I'm more inclined to donate every so often. But every time I have to go over there, you're asking for a donation. So that's why they get a B. Other than that, their food is good. Papa John's. Papa John's gets an F. So let me tell you a story about Papa John's. Papa John's, when I was a kid, me and my family would eat it all the time. We loved the hell out of Papa John's. It was probably one of the best, in my opinion, better than Domino's at the time, right? But Papa John's scarred me for life. Okay, let me tell you what they did. So we got the standard, large pepperoni pizza, right? With the garlic sauce. So my dad picked it up. He brought it home. Tell me why when we received it, we opened up the pizza and there was a small German cockroach crawling all in there. Yeah, no, I'm serious. It was disgusting. Yeah. And ever since then, I have not eaten Papa John's. It's probably been 2 decades since I last ate Papa John's. So that's why they get an F. Pizza Hut. Now, guys, Pizza Hut was top tier. In fact, they were better than Domino's. So here's what people don't understand. You probably didn't know this, guys, but back then, Pizza Hut was actually a buffet place, right? And so Pizza Hut went downhills because that's when Domino's came out and they changed the way. That's when they invented takeout or delivery, right? Back then, if you were eating pizza and you're going to Pizza Hut, you were sitting in, you were dining in, and you would just eat pizza because it was a buffet. Right, not like Little Caesars. Like you would buy the pizza, but then they had like the condiments and like the sides where you'll just go get some, right? Because it was more like a Chuck E. Cheese essentially, but without the games, right? But then they got rid of it, and then ever since then, their stock has just been going down, right? And so, with that being said, Pizza Hut. Their pizza is still, it's not that good anymore. I would put them at a D. I can't put them at an F now. So we'll just settle in between with an E. Okay. We'll move on to Popeyes. Popeyes. Now, before we talk about the food, we're going to talk about just this company in general. I don't know what their hiring process is, but Popeyes needs to do better. because every Popeyes I've been to, every worker there was rude, right? And then on top of that, you see the YouTube and the TikToks of Popeye workers actually fighting. No, it's a legit thing. They really are violent. They don't care. And at this point, I think that's who Popeyes they're hiring. I think they're like, hey, this is us. If you don't care, don't buy our food, right? Now we'll talk about the food. Now, when they made their chicken sandwich, it was legit to die for. Literally, people died for it, right? And that craze was an insane craze. I tried it. The chicken sandwich was incredible. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going to front to make it seem like it's not good. It was damn good, right? Their overall food, despite the customer service there, is top tier in my opinion. It's top tier, but the experience there is not good. So that is why Popeyes gets an A. If they actually started hiring decent people, maybe one day they can go up to S tier, but currently they're staying at A. Sonic. Sonic. I honestly think they probably copied Sonic the Hedgehog. Every time I think of Sonic, that's what I think about. But let's talk about the food. In my opinion, I think the only reason people go to Sonic should be for the happy hour where they go and just get the slushies. Other than that, Sonic is dog shit. Right? Their burgers are horrible. Their hot dogs are subpar. Right? Their tater tops is the only thing they got going on for them with the menu. But other than that, and then the desserts, Sonic is not good. I think the only reason why people like going to Sonic is just to see the workers on rollerblades and waiting for somebody to fall. I think that's the only reason why they go there. But other than that, and then the happy hour desserts with the slushies and the milkshakes and things like that, Sonic is not good. And so that is why they go to D. The only thing that's saving them is their slushies. Next, we'll go with Subway. Subway, go back to college, was another restaurant that got me through college. We had a Subway. So we had a chain of restaurants, if you don't know by now, by my school. We had Whataburger, we had Domino's, we had Jack in the Box, we had all of these. We had Subway, Little Caesars. Subway was another one that we would go to when we were struggling. You can get a foot long for only $5. Now, granted, they kind of changed it, over the time where their $5 footlongs was actually very limited. It was only a certain selection of $5 footlongs that you can buy. But other than that, Subway's pretty good. With that being said, Subway gets a B. Taco Bell. Taco Bell's Baja Blast is incredible. Probably one of the best drinks I've ever tasted in my life. I legit would think about getting diabetes. I will be okay with that if I drink that every day. That is how good that drink is. Now to talk about the food. So, guys, this is another place people will go to after the club, after a long night out, right? Is because the thing is, Taco Bell would stay open really late. And that's what Taco Bell had going for them, right? Was that they could stay open late. And on top of that, they were decently fast, guys, for getting your food. That's another thing. That's something I really do look into. If you are slow with your food, And if your food is horrible, I will not deal with you again. But if your food is good and it takes you a long time to make the food, I could work with you. So Taco Bell, the only thing I would have to say about them is, excuse me, guys, it's that they got rid of the Mexican pizza. Now, the Mexican pizza is my personal favorite. And with that being said, they took off one of the best things on the menu. Taco Bell is easily S tier in my opinion, but I have to take them to an A because they got rid of the Mexican pizza. Now, until they bring the Mexican pizza back, honestly, I don't even know why they even took it off their menu. It was legit the best, most popular item on the menu. Why would they take it down? But if they ever find a way to bring back the Mexican pizza, Taco Bell will easily be S tier. Moving on to Wendy's. Now, guys, the only thing that I think about when I think of Wendy's is that lawsuit that happened between them. You remember that old lawsuit with the lady that tried suing them because she found a thumb in their chili? I remember when that was going on. Yeah, I know it was crazy. It was really crazy. Yeah, a girl found a legit thumb in her chili. I used to love the chili back then. And when that leaked out, I stopped eating Wendy's in general, right? But long story short, they just found out that the girl no, she actually legit had a thumb, but she lied about like Wendy's putting it in there. She was actually trying to scam Wendy's. She and her boyfriend got a thumb, and then she just tried to pull a fast one by putting the thumb in there and saying, "Oh, look, there's a thumb in my chili." But other than that, their nuggets is probably one of the best nuggets I've ever tasted, right? Their nuggets, there's just something about the texture of the nuggets. They're cooked just right. It's not like shitty McDonald's nuggets. I think that's probably why I like their nuggets so much. There's probably better nuggets out there, but I'm just so scarred with McDonald's nuggets that any nuggets will be God tier, right? But other than that, their burgers are hit and miss. It's okay. It's kind of weird that their burgers are squares. That kind of threw me off. It's, geometry to me. I don't like squares. Squares that should be patties. I feel like all patties should be circles. So it's weird getting a square patty for a burger. But other than that, it's subpar, somewhat decent burger. But really, their Frosties and their nuggets is what keeps them in the game. And so for that is why Wendy's gets a C. Last but not least, White Castle. Yes, I think we all seen the movie. Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. It is a damn good movie. To be honest with you, I didn't even know White Castle was the actual restaurant. I thought it was just a make-believe movie or a make-believe restaurant that was in a movie until I was up in Chicago and I saw a White Castle there. I was like, oh shit, it's real. Now, the only thing is, the movie lied. The movie lied because they made it seem like White Castle is one of the best places ever to get food at. White Castle is complete shit. And I don't care the amount of little burgers they give you, right? They can give me 20 small burgers for $3 and I still will not like it. If I don't like it, I'm not going to eat it. I don't care what you price it as cheap as possible, all because I don't like the first one. That don't mean I'm going to keep eating it, right? I think this is a place where people go to when they're high. But even at that point, it's still not good. It's still not good at all. And for that reason, White Castle has to be an F. All right, guys, what you guys think? Do you agree with this? Do you think this is a good tier list? Let me know what you guys think. All right. Yeah, just leave some comments. You can like as well. Chick-fil-A should be S. Chick-fil-A. Yeah, you guys know why I put it as an A. If they're open on Sundays, they would definitely be S tier. But other than that, they have to stay A. I'm disrespecting Arby's. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Arby's is probably one of the worst ever restaurants created. I don't even know what they were thinking creating such an abomination. That's exactly what it is, an abomination. It is horrible. All right, let's move on. Let's see what we got. Let's move over here. Gosh, hold on, guys. I'm so hot right now. Well, I gotta take a piss too. I've decided to make a pot pie. Yeah, this was insane.
When I first heard about Cocaine Bear, I just remember thinking, it's a hell of a title.
A bear?
There's an expression called misery loves company, and today I realized that
That is very true. That is a really good saying.
kind of like the philosophy of how I live my life. Whenever I see something that makes me upset, I share it with all of you. If I see something that's embarrassing or gross and yucky, I make sure all of you have to see it and experience it as well. If I have to be traumatized by Turbo Cringe, so does everybody else. I go full scorched earth. I salt the soil, making sure
I don't blame them. I'm the same way. If my eyes gotta see this, you guys are seeing it with me. You guys are going to bear the pain.
Everyone also has to feel my agony. And I even do that in real life with my friends too. Like if I eat a piece of food that I'm a little concerned might not be fully cooked, like a little raw, and I get concerned about like a foodborne illness, I'll see if any of my friends will eat it too, so that way we can share in the sickness together, so I'm not alone. It's always met.
So he reminded me of this story in college. All right, so back then it was my junior year in college. It was me and my two other roommates, Kay White and Elijah. All right. I told myself, you know what, guys, I'm going to start cooking. You know, I need to eat more healthier and things like that. So I started cooking. And so really when you're living with other people, guys, you know, there are some ground rules. You know, there's the community food and the community drinks, right, where everybody pays for and whatnot. And then there's the food that's just strictly yours or your roommates, right, that you either have your name on it or you let people know, hey, don't go in there and eat it, right? So I was cooking chicken. I decided to fry chicken for the first time, and it came out horrible, right? I did not have a deep fryer, so I'm just damn near winging it. I'm putting it in the grease and frying it, and then obviously I had the grease on too hot where it will cook the flour, the exterior of the skin, a lot faster than the inside. And so the outside looked extremely good. It was that golden brown, crispy look, but the inside was still raw. Yeah, it was still raw. It was an abomination. And so what I did was I put that raw food that looked like cooked food. I put raw chicken in the refrigerator and just had it covered up and everything. And it looked like leftovers is what I'm trying to get at. And so my roommate Elijah goes in the refrigerator and he sees the leftover chicken and how delicious it looked, because it legit looked like it looked like really good chicken. You know, it was crispy and everything, where he got it and he warmed it up and ate it. He took a bite into it and it was still raw. And so he held a household meeting screaming on top of his lungs saying, who the hell left raw chicken in the refrigerator? I told him that was my chicken. And so he was like, why did you leave this chicken in the refrigerator? I said, Elijah, who told you to eat my food? He couldn't say nothing to that. At that point, he was stuck because he knew he shouldn't have eaten the food. So the moral of the story is, guys, if you have roommates, right, if there's no community food, you shouldn't eat their food, because you never know what you might be eating into. You don't know what you might bite into. Let's move on.
With a resounding no and go fuck yourself, but I at least still do give the attempt. Point is, today I realized that I do that a lot, and I'm about to do it again. There is a trend of streamers that I've talked about quite a few times over the last few years that always make me infuriated. It is the distracted drivers streamers. I'm sure you've seen a lot of streams that take place in a car where a streamer is literally reading chat while driving. It is unbelievable.
You know, that's really illegal. You cannot physically be driving, and really you're not supposed to be looking down at your phone because you're being distracted. That is a legit crime because people die off of that, right?
Dangerous, irresponsible, and just an absolute terrible thing to do. And I'm always surprised that there's not more huge accidents that occur as a result of it. It, of course, not only endangers their life, but the lives of all of the innocent people on the road around them, simply because the streamer can't fight the urge to look at chat to read Omega Lol and look at ASCII art of some big tits. It's fucking stupid. Now, it is bannable on Twitch. I'm not saying that they're flying under the radar and Twitch is doing nothing about it. When Twitch is made aware of a streamer that is clearly reading chat while driving, they do take action. Now, that's not to say that all driving streams are prohibited, because they are still allowed as long as a passenger is the one that's reading chat, not the driver. So that way it's a little bit safer. But unfortunately, about once a month, there's some little worms that pop out from the shadow that decide to do a driving stream because they're the main character of life. They're the fucking protagonist, and everyone else on the road is just their props. So they'll hop in their car and just be reading chat the whole time from their phone, putting everyone around them at risk. And that brings us to my least favorite streamer on Twitch. I'm not going to say her name, but 3 days ago, she was streaming while driving, reading chat on her phone, and she ran over someone's dog. And I'm clearly not going to show you the actual running over the dog because it's...
Yo, that's insane. That has to be... Like, even though it's a dog, that should be jail time right there. Right? Like, there's no... Like, I can understand if a dog just dashes out in the middle of the road and then you try to avoid it. Like, me, I'm at the point where I try to avoid damn possums or raccoons when they cross the street, putting my own life in danger instead of just running over them. Right? Squirrels, too. I try to dodge them all the time when I see them. None of them get hurt. I put myself at risk before I hurt them little creatures. And then you have somebody that just doesn't care about life in general. And just runs. I don't even think she stopped. Let's just keep going.
It's very hard to watch and extremely hard to listen to because the animal is wailing in pain for like 45
Yeah, we're not gonna watch the actual video, guys, on stream, so don't even ask.
5 seconds before the clip cuts off. It's fucking awful.
Stukło przed chwilą. Nie wiesz jak wtedy... Jezus, ile tu psów! Pewnie jakaś macieczkę.
Oh, that's probably where she hit. Where she hit him,
Pewnie
right?
jakaś macieczka. Nie wiesz jak wtedy... Jezus, ile tu psów! Pewnie jakaś macieczkę.
It's at that moment she runs
Oh,
over
that's where
someone's
she
pet
did it.
because she was too busy reading chat on her phone. She even mentioned that there were a lot of dogs around and then still made the decision to constantly be reading fucking chat. And
Stupid.
it's not like they were saying anything insightful. Like, you can see the chat right there on the screen. There's nothing that is urgent that she needs to be looking down for. It's not like some kind of fucking speed situation where she needs to be reading chat every X amount of seconds or the car's gonna blow up. She could have just not done that, and the person's pet would have probably not been hit. So this fucking clown here that's dressed like Curious George couldn't help but be reading her fucking chat and then ran over a dog. Clearly this made me very upset, so I wanted to share it with all of you so you'd also be upset. Good news is she did get banned for this, but I also think she should be
She's
facing
jail
criminal
time.
charges, distracted driving,
Yeah.
texting while driving, all of that. It's not a joke, like at all. And this is a step above texting and driving, I would argue, because if you go back and watch her clips, she is staring at that phone for like fucking 5-10 seconds at a time. It's not even like she's just like doing one of these, not that that's any better, but like she was like reading it as if she was like trying to get through a goddamn like Magic Treehouse book on her phone. You know, you would have thought that she was going over important legal documents with the amount of time she spent fucking reading her phone in the car while driving. Obviously, this situation gets me heated. I'm like a microwave with tinfoil in it right now. It is extremely
He's gonna blow up.
upsetting to see this happen, and this is far from the only case of it. It's just the most recent. There's been plenty of car accidents from streamers reading chat, but usually it just
Streamer crashes car while reading Twitch chat behind the wheel.
involves them.
What? What's the point? Guys, I don't get it. Like, why are you reading? Why are you even streaming while you're driving? Like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Getting into single car accidents like
That's
this
just weird
goofball
to me.
here who crashed into a parking barrier while reading chat. I also remember seeing one on YouTube where a guy
Messed
was
up a good
arguing
car,
with
too.
someone in chat and then ran a stop sign and got T-boned by a fucking semi-truck. It looked like something out of a Final Destination movie. And to make it worse, he clearly lost the argument because he got hit by a fucking car while arguing. That's an instant L on that entire confrontation, so the chatter even walked away with the dub. It's not uncommon, it's not that rare. Somehow there's always these pathetic little worms, smooth-brained, stupid-head idiots that'll pop on a live stream and then just start reading chat while driving, and it leads to situations like this. And among all of these champions of Darwinism is my least favorite streamer, that lady I just showed you. She was a Polish streamer before she got banned for this, and hopefully she faces criminal charges for it as well. I definitely think that's appropriate, or at the very
no, the law
least
in
losing
Poland.
her license. I've always been very open and honest about my stance of drunk drivers and how there's absolutely no sympathy I feel for anyone drunk driving. I think the laws should absolutely slap the fuck out of them. Drunk driving has no excuse, and I feel the same about distracted driving when it's as blatant as this. It's been translated what she was saying, and she said, according to this, "Jesus, how many dogs are here?"
All right, where are we reading that? She needs to lose her license. Clip of Polish streamer running over a dog while streaming on Twitch sparks outrage. As of now, Twitch has suspended Sinuke account, and trying to access it makes this disclaimer pop up. This channel is currently unavailable for the violation of Twitch community guidelines of terms of service. What does it say? What she say?
And then after saying that, goes right back to looking at her phone. So she recognized that there were dogs around the area, and then still decided to read chat because she had got a little notification. That's like actual baby brain shit. It makes me question if she ever developed object permanence. She took notice of dogs around the area, and then assumed they vanished when she looked at her phone or something, like, oh, I can't see them anymore. They must have just fucking phased out of existence, and then she hits one. Like, that is some shit like out of a video game when you critique like bad AI in a game. Like when a guard sees you, he's like, oh, who is that? I see you over there. But then you like go into a tall bush and he's like, must have been the wind. Like that's her brain. That must be like how her mind works. The second she can't see something, it ceases to exist. It's clearly very frustrating to me. And I just wanted to vent about this after seeing it today. I just wanted to share it with all of you so you could also be upset about it. And I just wanted to show you who my least favorite Twitch streamer is now. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya.
Planning a family? Check your sperm count. You can test it in your room.
I don't want to test that shit. All right. I'll be right back, guys. Gotta set my timer. Let's see what Aspen got going on. We kind of started this one. Let's see.
And
What happened to Chipotle?
I could tell you what happened. Their portions suck, right? That's number one. On top of that, they purposely try to poison the consumer. That's number two. There's no reason there should be that many cases of salmonella and food poisoning for one company. It's crazy. That is insane to me.
Has been on a roller coaster. Business plummeted following a series of foodborne illness outbreaks. But
You see?
The worker. There's like 7 people there. Chipotle sucks dick. Oh wait, I thought it said Chipotle
It's
sucks
sick
dick.
days.
Never mind.
Figured out what made nearly 647 people sick at an Ohio Chipotle. Food temperature.
since 2008, Chipotle has had 10 scandals regarding food poisoning, which has affected thousands of people, spreading diseases like hepatitis A, norovirus.
Oh, hepatitis too? See, salmonella. I knew about this one.
Salmonella, and
maybe they were doing me a favor by never having my food there.
I think me too, Asman. I think they did me a favor not ever having a steak over there for me.
Clostridium perfringens. And those are just the outbreaks that made it to the news. Many of you probably know people who are food poisoned after eating at Chipotle.
No.
Or maybe it even happened to you.
Absolutely not.
Yet, despite all these red flags, Chipotle is doing better than ever.
Because it's good.
In the last 12-month period, Chipotle brought in $8.4 billion in revenue and ended up profiting $800 million. Similarly,
I will say, though, like a little bit of criticism about Chipotle is that how the fuck do you have steak and you don't teach the people that work there how to cut the steak? You're not supposed to cut the fatty pieces that connect the two pieces of meat together. Stop cutting up and putting gristle in the fucking steak bin. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting. It is disgusting. Yes, I get that.
Like,
yes.
It's just so, it's the tendons. Yes, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? It's like you bite into it and you're biting into a fucking tire.
Yeah, it is chewy.
Extended to over 3,000 locations across the U.S.
Makes me so mad.
And it's not just their fundamentals that have been doing well either. Chipotle stock has also held up extraordinarily well.
$1,500? How? How is it that high?
Throughout the recession,
you're goddamn right it has.
Only a mere 20%.
Delicious.
This pegs Chipotle's valuation at $41 billion, which nearly makes them a top 10 food brand in terms of market cap.
Yep.
For perspective, that's over 3 times larger than Domino's Pizza.
Well, because
this says it all right here. This says it all.
Oh shit!
Right here.
Given their popularity, you would think that addressing their food poisoning concerns would be their top priority.
No.
And according to their PR, it is.
No, their top priority, guys, is keep mass producing this food. They don't care how harmful it is to them, but make sure you give them as little bit of a portion as possible, because they don't want you to eat. They don't want to give you too much because they're stingy as fuck. And I hate that.
Is, but when we look at the facts, they don't look nearly as favorable for Chipotle. In fact, it actually looks like they're regressing, given that their outbreaks tend to affect more people.
Good.
For example, their first outbreak in 2008 affected 22 customers. Conversely,
that's crazy. You know what? I think I did hear about the hepatitis. Now that I think about it, I think I do remember that.
2018 ended up affecting 700 people.
I'm telling you, man, this legit, man.
It's been the centerpiece of my workflow. It's quite literally an extension of my brain.
Man, if someone dies off of eating Chipotle, it's over for them. It is over. You know, I need to talk to my brother because my brother's always eating Chipotle. That's probably why every time I see him, he's using the restroom. Yeah, no, seriously.
Well, that's pretty bad. Wow.
At first glance, you might think that this is somewhat expected for a chain as large as Chipotle.
Yeah.
When you're
Shouldn't
serving
be.
that much food, you're bound to serve some that gets people sick.
Yep.
But
True.
this is actually not true.
What?
McDonald's, for example, has over 10 times the number of locations all over the world. Yet their Wikipedia page only mentions the word outbreak once, and even that was in the context of describing the coronavirus outbreak. Conversely, Chipotle's Wikipedia page...
That's because McDonald's isn't real food. You can't get food poisoning off of fake food. It's artificial.
Damn, bro, this is like
it's artificial
bro, this
food.
is probably longer than the Wikipedia page for the Black Plague. Holy shit. You know what's fucked up is like watching this makes me think like the more I'm thinking of Chipotle, the more I'm thinking like maybe I should go there today, you know? Because I haven't been there for like 3 days.
Word outbreak a whopping 91 times. What makes this even more confusing is that Chipotle uses much of the same food supply chain as McDonald's.
Uh-huh.
So what in the world is going on at Chipotle?
I'll tell you one thing that's going on. Everybody working at the store just sitting there watching YouTube videos.
Yep.
You got 12 people sitting behind there.
Sitting right there just on their phone, and literally only got you only see really 3 people working.
3 people are working.
See
9 people are chilling.
And why do so many people choose to eat there anyway?
Because it's good. That's why.
To understand what's going wrong at Chipotle, we first have to take a look at their origin, because there was a point in time when Chipotle wasn't synonymous with food poisoning. Granted, it's been quite some time. The story of Chipotle dates back to 1993.
Wait, what?
I didn't know they were that old.
Steve Els. Steve was a classically trained chef who had a few years of experience working in the traditional restaurant industry as a sous chef. While this gig gave Steve some experience, he knew from day one that he wanted to open a fine dining restaurant.
Right.
Jumping to that
That's why
from
we have
just being a
Chipotle.
sous chef was quite a leap, though. So, at age 28, Steve borrowed $85,000 from his friends and family and opened a small burrito shop instead in Denver, Colorado.
Fuck yeah.
Did he call it
He
Chipotle?
estimated that he needed to sell at least 107 burritos per day to be profitable.
Right.
But he ended up crushing this number.
Ooh.
By the end of the first
That
month
was
itself,
good.
Steve was selling over 1,000 burritos per day. This strong reception
Damn.
gave
God
Steve the
damn.
confidence to take out an SBA loan and open additional restaurants in Colorado. We can't
Hell
give
yeah.
Steve all the credit, though.
Well, he
as
won
had
on
substantial
that.
help from his father. You see, Steve's father was a wealthy...
Guys, I figured it out. We open a burrito shop, right? Open a burrito shop that doesn't get people sick. I'm telling you, if we can do that, we're already one step ahead of Chipotle.
the pharmaceutical executive. And while he was hesitant to invest...
Well, I mean, unless they putting drugs in the fucking in the burritos, like, what does that have to do? I mean, Steve can make a burrito. Like, was the dad telling him put a fucking Ambien in this one?
Hey man, hey, put some sprinkles of crack up in there.
They're gonna be coming back. Well, that doesn't matter to me.
Ground Zero. Once he saw these results, he became a mass investor, putting in $1.5 million.
Yeah,
Despite
smart.
having access to all this capital, Steve was in no rush to open up a bunch of restaurants or expand outside of the state for two reasons. For one, Steve strongly believed in keeping the business simple and straightforward.
It is.
And this is very much a core principle of Chipotle to this day.
That's right.
Keep it simple, okay?
This is basically their entire menu.
That's right. They
Yeah.
don't have a lot of shit
That's
on the
true.
menu. Like
That's
my
true.
dad will always go to places.
So that's the smart thing. That's where a lot of restaurants don't understand. If you can keep your menu very small, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good because you're only focusing on your five or 10 items, right? Chipotle you saw only had like 3, right? But if you can only focus on like 5 and we'll just say max out at 10, imagine how good you will be as a restaurant. Other than the other restaurant that has like 40 different menus on their item, or 40 different items on their menu. I said that backwards. You know,
places and they'll be like, what are their sides? Okay, how many sides do they have? Okay, do they have like what kind of dressing do they have for their salads? And I'm like, Dad, it's an In-N-Out burger. They got burgers and they got fries. That's it. Oh,
That's
they
it.
got a milk. You want a milkshake? No, you don't. Okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah.
We've crash landed on an uncharted planet. There's something out there.
You need to be quiet and move.
65, only in movie theaters, March 10th.
In sports and in life, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
And two, turning Chipotle into a nationwide giant wasn't never Steve's vision. His goal was to simply get some experience running Chipotle before switching over to fine dining. But by 1998, it was becoming extremely difficult to stick to this original vision.
Yeah.
Simply due to how well Chipotle was doing.
How much volume he's
Instead of
doing, yeah.
resisting it, Steve would simply embrace the change and go all in on Chipotle, opening their first restaurant outside of Colorado in 1998. Now that Chipotle was no longer just a local sensation, bigger investors would become interested, particularly McDonald's. McDonald's started off with a small stake,
McDrive.
but
I don't remember
they would
that.
end up making Chipotle into who they are today. Over the next 7 years, McDonald's helped Chipotle grow from 16 locations to over 500 locations
Wow.
Holy
by investing a
fuck.
whopping $360 million, which gave them a 90% stake in the company. But
God
money
dang.
wasn't even the biggest asset that McDonald's brought to the table. Their primary contribution was, of course, their experience.
Yeah.
While McDonald's gets a bad rep for selling highly processed junk food,
Nah,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah,
nah,
that's
nah,
true,
bro.
that's true. No, that's true.
No,
That's
I'm
true.
not gonna have any McDonald's slander in my chat
No, McDonald's is dog shit. Asman.
today, okay? Like, everybody always goes and thinks they're too fucking good to eat at McDonald's. Number one, bitch, you're not. Number two, McDonald's is delicious, all right? Like, you go to McDonald's, you get some McNuggets, and you get yourself a drink. The McDonald's Cokes are the best. Now, I'm gonna let you know, the Big Macs are...
Chat, don't listen to him. This he's talking out his ass now. Let's just we'll focus on the clean, the rest of the video, right? We're gonna focus on the rest of the video with Chipotle. Just disregard what he's saying about McDonald's, because McDonald's is absolute horseshit. It is legit plastic they're giving you.
are fucking stupid. Nobody wants a Big Mac. But they have such good nuggets. They remember the McDouble? Remember the Daily Double? It was $1. Now it's like, $19, but back then it was $1. It was delicious, man. Absolutely fucking delicious. McDonald's is amazing.
It's not.
Can't argue with is that they're exceptional at selling said food.
They sure are.
They've honed in everything
it's
from
good.
marketing and franchising to the supply chain and food safety.
That's right.
And this expertise was very much evident in Chipotle's flawless growth from 16 stores to 500 stores. But unfortunately for Chipotle, McDonald's would not stick around forever.
Oh, what happened?
While McDonald's was crushing it with Chipotle, the same could not be said about their own business. During the dot-com crash, McDonald's stock would sell off 75%.
Well, this is because they hadn't innovated it hardly at all. Like this was back whenever McDonald's only sold junk food, and like in like the 2000s, like right about like here, like when was this? Yeah, 2003, somewhere around here. This was never everybody like. Remember, that's whenever Super Size Me came out.
Yeah.
And as soon as that thing came out, everybody was like, "Oh my."
Yeah, no one really liked McDonald's after that because they saw how bad it was.
God, we're eating this food and we're getting sick, and everybody's fat that eats Chipotle or not Chipotle, that eats McDonald's, and we got to pay attention to what we're eating. So then McDonald's went, and then remember they had the chicken selects. Remember, then they had like all of these different salads and shit like that. Yeah, the documentary, well, no, that was it. The documentary was called Super Size Me by Morgan Spurlock. We watched this in school eating McDonald's.
Yep. Same here.
There it is. That was 2004 or something like that. Yeah, and I remember but around that time, people were talking about this. Is whenever people started realizing like fast food wasn't healthy and shit. I remember this. It was awful.
Would take them
documentary was
8 years
bullshit.
to
Yeah, it
return
was
to their former
bullshit.
highs. While much of this was simply due to the state of the economy, McDonald's executives decided that they had to stop spending so much effort on relatively small investments like Chipotle, and instead focus on their own
That's a
growth.
small investment?
So, in 2006, they decided to take Chipotle public and sell off their entire stake. Despite all this selling pressure, Chipotle went on to have an extremely successful IPO. Before going public, Chipotle actually raised their IPO price twice. But
Damn.
even with that, Chipotle ended up rocketing 100% during their first day as a public company.
God damn.
This made Chipotle the second best restaurant IPO
They're like a
since
little
the dot-com
juggernaut.
crash.
It makes sense
This
because it's
strong
so
support
good.
from investors made it seem like Chipotle would have a smooth time even without McDonald's. But almost immediately, you could see the consequences.
Wait, what's wrong?
Just
Well,
2
what
years
happened?
after McDonald's left, Chipotle would have their first notable health crisis in March of 2008.
whatever.
A Chipotle location in La Mesa, California would be linked to 22
Nah.
cases.
There it is. Oh, wait. Whoa, just highlight it. As of early May, more than 20 people who ate at the La Mesa restaurant have tested positive for guys. I thought it said HIV for a second. I was about to say, God damn, that's insane. That right there could just send them to bankruptcy.
Of hepatitis.
I mean, like, who gives a shit about this, bro? The food is so good. Like, yeah, nah, bro. Like, come on.
No, hey, it's not
just
that
1
good.
month later, Chipotle would have yet another
Hepatitis
outbreak.
is bad.
This time, the disease was norovirus, and it ended up infecting 440 people.
Nah, bro.
So,
nah.
what in the world happened within
Nah,
these
this shit
24
didn't
months?
happen.
Well, one of the most notable points was Chipotle's trend
God.
towards decentralization. I don't think you'd be surprised to hear that McDonald's was a strong proponent of centralized operations. Virtually all of their ingredients come from mass distributors like Keystone Foods.
Yeah.
Every year, Keystone Foods alone delivers 150 million pounds of beef, 300 million pounds of chicken, and 15 million pounds of fish.
Well, they
to
overseas or
McDonald's.
something?
While this style of supply chain raises a lot of questions regarding animal treatment, preservatives, and GMOs,
We think they're making their food out of dogs? Is that what he's thinking?
How we get to the dog?
Is that what he's thinking?
Hey, yo. So, like, what are we trying to say here?
Is that what he's trying to say?
Yeah, what are we trying to get here?
Welcome to Hawthorne Island. We make the best food in the world.
one thing that's not in question is consistency. When all of your food comes from one location, it's all gonna be the same. More importantly, though, a simplified supply chain makes it easier to maintain quality and identify issues quickly.
That's true.
Given that much of Chipotle's entire brand is built around simplicity, you would think that Steve would stick to a centralized supply chain, but he actually had other plans. You see, Steve had caught sense of a larger food trend which pushed people to ditch junk food and eat healthier.
Bro, see, that's it. That's the supersize me thing. Yeah, exactly. I remember this.
An opportunistic businessman, Steve decided to jump onto this trend of producing, quote-unquote, organic, locally sourced food.
Oh, so that's why they don't have any fucking food. So everything is explained now. Because they're sitting here, oh, it's sourced locally. Well, yeah, that's why it's not there. Yeah, actually, no. Now everything fits together.
That makes
Fuck,
sense.
Man,
That makes
this
sense.
is awful.
Looking back,
Now I understand
this
it.
was a perfect choice in terms of their marketing and branding, and it's also the ethical choice. This turned out to be a nightmare in terms of quality control.
That's true, because I've been there so many times. Like every time that I go there and they have every ingredient that I want, I feel like I just won the lottery.
Today, Chipotle tries to source as many ingredients as possible from within a 350-mile radius. While this locally grown produce idea sounds great on paper, there is a reason that mega food corporations shy away from this idea. It's because it's virtually impossible to maintain standards across thousands of suppliers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, of course.
Chipotle would figure this out the hard way. This decentralized supply chain also put a lot of strain on Chipotle stores because their stores were built to operate in the exact opposite manner, with simplicity. Chipotle locations don't have any freezers, microwaves, or even can openers.
Why would
they not do that? Why would they not have any of that? Because think about it like this, right? If you don't have any can openers, any freezer, right? If you don't have a microwave, you're making everything essentially like fresh, right? Like true fresh, like just straight off the truck, made it. Think about all the waste you're going through. You're wasting a lot of food. You have a lot of waste. That's probably going to be the most money right there, is the wasted food that you have to throw away because you can't keep it fresh if you don't have a refrigerator or anything like that. That is so weird to me. That's probably that's the reason.
Would they not have can openers? Oh, I guess they don't have any cans. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Fresher equals riskier, yeah.
This means that the staff have to take on a lot of responsibility when it comes to preparing the food. Given that it's a restaurant, you would think that this would be a given.
No.
But it's not. Most fast food places structure their business such
See, this
that
is just like it, because, look, there's 2 people working, 2 people talking.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly it, yeah.
That's true.
And they're just talking, they're chilling, like there's nothing on the grill, they're not doing nothing. Yeah, this is an actual, just your average
day in Chipotle.
You know, like worker, you know, breakdown here.
That's true.
You got 2 of them working, 2 of them doing nothing.
Fast food workers don't have to do much preparation. Basically, everything comes pre-made, meaning that the workers simply have to heat up the food or assemble it. Chipotle workers, on the other hand, are literally given raw ingredients.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally make the food in front of you. This would be okay if we
Well,
were...
they don't make it in front of you. Like, if you ever been to one of these, like they make
It's in the
there's like
back.
the food that they have ready, and then behind them there's like these dudes on a grill, and then they're grilling and cutting the food.
We're talking about an actual sit-down restaurant filled with experienced staff. But most Chipotle locations are run by young adults and...
Myth was there? Wait, what?
On the other hand, are literally...
Wait, is that Myth? Wait, is that really him? What's Myth doing? Yo. Hey, this has to just be for just some type of like PR stunt or something. He probably got paid to do this. Ain't no way that's really him doing this.
Wait, what?
Workers simply have to heat up the food or assemble it. Chipotle...
That's crazy.
That is Myth, isn't it?
It's Myth. Man, that's a PR stunt or something.
That is him. Holy fuck. Wow.
Chipotle workers, on the other hand, are literally given raw ingredients. I mean, they literally make the food in front of you. This would be okay if we were talking about an actual sit-down restaurant filled with experienced staff. But most Chipotle locations are run by young adults and high school students.
Yeah, that is
That's true. That's very true.
And this goes back to what I was saying before, is that whenever you go to Chipotle, people are just chilling. That's about it. Yeah, this is what I said.
Because they're young adults and high schoolers.
So
That's
there's a
logic,
massive
yeah.
learning curve. In 2015 and 2016, during the worst of Chipotle's outbreaks, Chipotle actually spent a lot of effort on strengthening their training programs. But this quickly led them to yet another issue.
What's wrong with young adults is because they're stupid.
That's true.
That's what's wrong with them. They're stupid. And they mess stuff up. That's right.
Employee turnover. Just as employees start to get the hang of things, they leave.
Exactly.
In 2021, Chipotle's turnover rate was 194%.
Dang, they were
This
just
means
they were in
the
and
average
out.
employee barely sticks around for 4 months, which is not that surprising given that it's a near minimum wage job.
Yeah, of course.
Chipotle has tried to
Why would you
combat
wanna
this
work
by
there?
handing out cash and stock bonuses, offering maternity/paternity coverage, and even offering life insurance and short-term disability. But none of this can change the fundamental fact that, in the end, it's still a fast food job. And this is really the story of Chipotle as a whole. They're trying to do all these great things like sourcing local food and promoting healthier options. But they're still a fast food place, and they have to deal
No, it's better though.
with all of the limitations that come along with that.
No.
And these issues are only made worse by seemingly negligent leadership. While Steve started Chipotle with a great passion for food, it seems that over the years, he has become much more interested in the money. In fact,
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that.
Steve, it's not Steve's fault. What do you mean it's Steve's fault?
Yes or no? It falls down on Steve though. At the end of the day, because he's the one who's trying to source. It's his idea to source the food from within the 350 radius, right, of each Chipotle, right? So that's catastrophic. You can't manage that.
Didn't you say McDonald's bought a 90% stake and then they sold it on the open market? Which means that he's not even remotely close to majority shareholder? What the fuck? He's got no voice in this. It's not his decision. It's a publicly traded company. He's got a fiduciary responsibility to make profit for the shareholders. It's not his fucking fault. Who are you putting this on Steve for? You see what I'm saying?
Some of it's his fault, yes.
Chipotle
is.
is infamous for
What
paying
the
their
hell?
executives ridiculous sums of money. Back in the early 2010s, Chipotle paid out $300 million to their co-CEOs. These guys were earning FANG CEO-type salaries, even though Chipotle was pulling in less than 1% of the revenue of companies like Apple or Google. Not to mention,
That was an L.
their profit margins were way lower as well. Shareholders did eventually put their foot down and refuse to approve such compensation packages.
Smart.
But this just goes to show where the executives' priorities really were.
The state of Chipotle. Chipotle.
Considering all this, why in the world do people continue to eat at Chipotle?
Because it's good.
It's good.
That's why.
After watching this video of E. coli, hepatitis, and food poisoning, I will probably go to Chipotle tomorrow. Until I get sick eating Chipotle, I will go there.
Well,
and so what's crazy about what he just said, that's how a lot of people think. A lot of people think just like what Aspen just said. Until they actually get sick, there's a difference between them learning it from someone else's experience and them learning it from their own experience. A lot of people need to learn from their own experience.
the answer is simple. As this Quora user puts it, Chipotle actually serves real food, or at least realer food than other fast food joints.
No, it's because it's
with
good.
real flavors that create a unique appeal, but they also come with real risk. The only way to avoid this risk is to cook yourself, spend a fortune on eating out, or eat highly processed bland foods. And given that most people are 1, too lazy to cook themselves, 2, not rich enough to eat out at 5-star restaurants regularly,
That's
and
also
3,
true.
want something more than McDonald's or Burger King junk, they flock to something in the middle. With
Burger King is not junk.
Yeah, no. So that was half and half. You know, Burger King isn't junk. McDonald's is junk.
What do you mean?
It was half and half, right?
It's not.
Actually, not even half.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not.
It
junk.
is not junk. No, it's fucking not.
McDonald's
it's
is
not
junk.
mid. It's not. No, it's fucking delicious. Burger King is like an S tier restaurant. If it's not S, it's got to be at least high A.
Yeah.
It is. Burger
I
King is
concur.
so good, man.
I concur.
Their fries are good. Their burgers are good. It's straight up junk food? No, it's not. No, Burger King is different. You could say that maybe about McDonald's hamburgers, but not Burger King hamburgers.
just so happens to be Chipotle. So Chipotle's greatest strength is also their biggest weakness.
That's good they put it
and
next
they
to a
only have
GNC. That way, you know, whenever you get food poisoning or you get sick, you can just go
Get
next
the
door
medicine,
and
get the
what you need to
vitamins.
fix it. That's smart.
options moving forward. They can re-centralize like the legacy competition, or they can try to fix what they already have. It's clear which side Chipotle has chosen, and looking at their fundamentals, it's working out just fine.
Exactly.
Are you a fan of Chipotle?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, they got good food. Yeah, maybe you can get E. coli, but like, what are really the odds of that? I mean, how many times, like, do people go to Chipotle? Like, how many E. coli's have there been? I mean, like, it's a very low chance. It's a very 50%. Yeah, true. It either happens or it doesn't.
Comment that down below.
Yeah,
Also,
very low.
Drop a like if you're a fan of real food. And of course,
I'm not.
Consider checking out our Discord community to suggest future video ideas, and consider subscribing to see more questions.
What do you mean the
asked and
fall of
answered.
Coca-Cola?
Until then, I'm Hari, and I'll see you
Yeah,
guys
Coca-Cola
in the next
has
one.
fallen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a mega Chipotle fan. Go Chipotle 4 out of 7 times a week since 2018. Haven't gotten sick once. There it is, brother. Yep, true. I don't give a fuck. I go to Chipotle all the time. I'm not going to hear any of this motherfucking bullshit.
See what we got. Who's Pink Sparkles? Who's this?
Come on down, partner.
Medium pot black with caramel.
We're out of coffee.
Oh, you're out of coffee.
Yeah, we get no coffee and no donut. You guys are probably expecting like some hot, steamy tea about like a streamer. But yeah, this is very unrelated.
I need a snack.
Okay, good.
So, I guess the story begins in late July, I would say. Late July. And,
What happened?
oh yeah, I did tell your viewers that I was pregnant and carrying triplets. So I'm sorry about that, but that's, I take that back. That's not true. I was just messing around.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You say like it was
all right.
it was
All right.
his or
Anyway.
something?
Moving on. My
So how do you get over a breakup? How do you get over a breakup?
Let's see if he's spitting facts right
First
now.
thing you want to do is jerk off.
I heard what he said. He said jerk off. You gotta go to the gym, guys. You gotta focus on yourself. And you just gotta keep working out. That's number one.
Number one. After that, lean back in your chair and think about what you want to do for the next 3 months of your life. Ask yourself, do you want to invest that time into getting this girl back and investing the time into her? Think about the good times you had. Think about the bad times you had. Make the decision. Sometimes she's worth it. Sometimes she's not.
That part's true, guys. At some point in your life, you gotta sit back and think. Should I fight for her? Or should I let her go? I agree with this.
There are some things I don't think that you should really forgive people for doing. Obviously, especially, so like, here's an example. If somebody does something once, it's sometimes forgivable. But if they do it twice, it's not. So, here's an example. If you start dating a girl and she cheats on her boyfriend with you, and then you start dating her,
and she cheats on
it
you,
is only a matter of time until she cheats on you.
that is true.
If she cheats with you, she will cheat on you. Because these are people, they deserve, they not deserve, they don't almost, deserve, they crave attention. They crave to be wanted. There's a hole inside themselves that apparently only one dick can't fill. And if you want to keep your mind off of a girl, there's 2 ways that you can do that. Engage with your own passion, and I don't mean fucking watching porn, right? Do something that you're passionate about. Like if you love fucking, like engineering, like read up on that. Like fucking spend time like making small things. You know, like spending time like in enriching.
So you're pretty much
knowledge.
saying focus on
Spend
yourself.
Time doing.
I agree
and
with that.
indulging in that thing. If you love Warhammer 40K, you know, spend time, you know, get some new figurines, paint those figurines, and really immerse yourself into that. Obviously, it's better if what you're doing is productive. And like also, if the girl breaks up with you, there's a lot of times, right, where like girls will break up with guys because they feel like their boyfriend is like a loser. And like, I think this is like kind of a reasonable thing to do, right? It's like if you're a girl and you're like, you know what? I really want to get serious with this guy, but my boyfriend Jake is 23 and he's in a band with high schoolers and he smokes weed all day and lives with his mom. Do you think Jake is going to be a good dad? I don't know, probably not. So it makes sense that you don't want to do that kind of a thing, right? And this is like more of a, you know, a female to male thing, because, and like, I know obviously this is basically a sausage fest, so like this relates to all of us here. And so like you have to understand, like, girls not gonna fucking like that. It's like, the thing is, if you tell a girl who's 25 that you're in a band, she's gonna get pissed. If you tell a girl who's 18 that you're in a band, she's gonna fucking get turned on, all right?
All right, guys, I'm about to get off. I'm about to start eating now. I probably won't get on later. I probably won't. We'll see.